Our doorbell rang, and when my brother answered, 3 armed men tackled him to the ground and yelled, "Everybody in this house, out to the hallway now!" I heard the crash from upstairs and ran down with Mom and Dad to see Mason on the floor with duct tape being wrapped around his wrists. One man was taping his mouth shut while Mason cried. Mom screamed immediately. I screamed too, but Dad didn't. He went completely pale instead. "What are you doing? Get off him!" Mom tried to rush forward, but one of the men pointed a gun at her. "Nobody move! Everyone stay exactly where you are." Mason wasn't even fighting back. He was just crying with his head down like he accepted this was happening. "Here's what's going to happen," the tallest man said. "All of you are getting in our car. We're going for a drive." "Why are you doing this?" Mom's voice was shaking. The 3 men all stared at Dad. "Ask him." I turned to Dad instantly. "What does he mean?" But Dad didn't answer my question. Instead, he looked at me and Mom and said, "Let's just listen to them." The lead robber took our phones and threw them into the kitchen. "Nobody needs to know where we're going," he said. All 4 of us got pushed into the SUV with our hands tied. The lead man drove. Another man was in the passenger seat. The 3rd man sat in the very back with Mason tied next to him, holding a gun pressed against Mom's temple, just in case anyone tries anything. "Where are you taking us?" I asked, voice shaking. "Why don't you ask your dad?" The man with the gun said. We turned to Dad again. "What's going on? Please tell us. What do they want?" But Dad wouldn't even look at us. He just stared out the window with his tied hands clenched together. Mom turned to Mason in the back. "It's going to be okay, sweetie. We're going to get out of this." Mason didn't even look up. We drove for what felt like forever. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. We were driving past all towns and suburbs, heading somewhere remote. Mom kept asking where we were going, but the men never answered. They just kept pointing at Dad. "Why would you do this to an innocent child?" Mom finally screamed at the men. Mason shifted in the back when Mom called him innocent. I saw that. Soon, we passed through neighborhoods I didn't recognize, then the countryside. We were driving down empty roads, heading closer and closer to the desert. And every time that Mom or I asked what was happening, the men all told us to ask Dad, but Dad never spoke. He just sat there looking terrified in his own unique way. The drive felt endless. I had no idea how long we'd been in the car. No phones to check where we were going. Just the horrible silence and the gun pressed against Mom's head. Then we pulled into a parking lot. I looked up at the building. "Wait," I said. "That's a police station." Mom looked confused. "What? Why are we at a police station? You're the ones committing the crime." The lead man didn't say a word, just got out and opened the back, untying Mason. Then he opened the side door to let Dad out. I went to step out with him, but the man shut the door in my face. "Stay there." Then he started walking Dad and Mason toward the front doors of the station. They didn't even resist. "What's happening?" Mom screamed. "Where are you taking them?" Nobody answered her. The 2 other men stayed in the car with us. The gun was now pointed at Mom's hip to be out of sight. "Why would they bring us to a police station?" I whispered. "They just committed like 5 crimes. This makes no sense." We sat there for 45 minutes, maybe longer. It felt like hours. Mom was crying quietly. I kept staring at the police station doors, waiting for Dad and Mason to come out. Finally, the lead man walked out alone. Just him. No Dad, no Mason. He got in the driver's seat and started the car. Then he turned around to look at us. "I'm sorry for all this," he said. His voice was different now. "Tired, but it had to be done." "Where's my husband?" Mom asked. "Where's my son?" "They're staying here," he said. He pulled the car out of the parking lot and started driving. I need to explain. Mom and I didn't say anything, just stared at him. 9 months ago, your son Mason sexually assaulted and called my daughter. Her name was Ruby and she was 16. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My mouth went dry, but the man kept talking. "Your husband knew what Mason did, and instead of turning him in, he covered it up. He helped hide what Mason did to my baby girl." "No," Mom whispered, crying. "No, that's not true. My family wouldn't do that." "I'm sorry, ma'am, but it's true. When I found out, I wanted to kill them both, but then I realized I'd end up in jail myself, not there for my wife and my other daughter, so I chose to do this." He glanced at us in the rearview mirror. "I forced your husband to walk in and confess everything." Mom opened her mouth, but nothing came out. "I'm taking you home now," the man said quietly. "The police have everything. Your husband and son won't be coming home tonight, nor tomorrow, nor ever."